Shalom, TaNaKh wisdom. The name of Yahweh is a tower of invincibility. Hashem, the name. I want to read a passage in Exodus chapter 33 and 34 about Moses' encounter with Yahweh on Mount Sinai. Beginning in chapter 33, verse 13, Moses says, "Now therefore I pray, if I have found grace enabling in your sight, show me your way, that I may know and that I may find enabling in your sight grace, and consider that this nation is your people." And he said, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you Noach, rest," Yahweh said. Then he said to him, Moses, "If your presence does not go with us, do not bring us up from here. For how then will it be known that your people and I have found grace enabling in your sight, except you go with us? So we will be separate or distinct, your people and I, from all the people who are upon the face of the earth. So we will be separate and or distinct from all the people who are upon the face of the earth." So Yahweh said to Moses, "I will also do this thing that you have spoken, for you have found enabling in my sight, and I know you by name." Wait a minute, did he already know his name? Because he called him Moses. Moshe means drawn out. Okay? So this gives us insight about the word name, Shem. Hebrew. He says, "For you have found enabling in my sight," Yahweh says to Moses, and he says, "and I know you by name." In other words, and I know you by identity, by your character, by your identity. Okay. And he said, "Please show me your glory, or show me your kavod, show me your value, your honor." Then he said, Yahweh, "I will make my goodness pass before you." The word goodness is tov. He says, "I will make my beauty, my function pass before you, and I will summon or invite the name of Yahweh before you." There it is again. I will proclaim, I will summon, I will invite the identity of Yahweh, of existence, before you. Yahweh means existence. "I will be enabling to whom I will be enabling, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion." But he said, Yahweh said to Moses, "But you cannot see my face, my panah. You cannot see my expression, because Yahweh dwells in unapproachable light. You cannot see my expression, for no man will see me and live." It's too awesome. We won't survive. And Yahweh said, "Here's a place by me, and you will stand on the rock. So it will be, while my honor passes by, my value, my honor passes by, that I will put you in the cleft of the rock and will cover you with my palm while I pass by." The word is kaf. My palm while I pass by. "And I will take away my palm, and you will see my after. You will see behind me. You will see my afterwards. It's not my back. And you will see my behind me. But my expression, you will not be able to see. You won't survive it." Okay. And then chapter 34, verse 5. "Now Yahweh descended in the cloud and stood with him there and proclaimed the name of Yahweh." He proclaimed the identity, Shem, of Yahweh. Verse 6, key verse. "And Yahweh passed before him, and he proclaimed, Yahweh, Yahweh El, Rahum Wechanum, Erek Apayim, where chesed ve'emet. And he said, and Yahweh proclaimed, and Yahweh summoned, called out, existence of power, compassionate and enabling, long of anger, and abundant in devoting to meeting needs and truth. Verse 7, keeping devotion to meeting needs for thousands, forgiving iniquity. This iniquity is awan, meaning sorcery. People timing others for advantage. Sorcery. Forgiving sorcery and transgression. The word transgression is pesha. Pesha. Misuse of relationships. Misuse another's possessions. By no means clearing the guilty. And visiting the iniquity. The word is pokad, visiting. Investing with a purpose or responsibility. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and the children's children to the third and fourth generation. So Moses made haste and bowed his head toward the earth, and he was prostrate. The word is shachar in the hishtafel benyamin. For Hebrew students, you understand? He was prostrated. His body lowered to the ground. And then he said, if now I have found enabling in your sight, Master, let my Master, I pray, go among us, go in our midst, even though we are stiff-necked. The word is keshe oref. Even though we are hard-necked or stubborn people. And pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us as your inheritance. No matter what we have done, no matter how we have made ourselves abominable in his sight, Yahweh, who is existence of power, compassionate and enabling, forgiving, although we cut ourselves off from his source of life, he will forgive and he will pardon and cover our iniquity and our sin and take us as his inheritance, because we are supposed to be a separate, a distinguished people from all the other peoples upon the earth. Shalom, TaNaKh wisdom.